would cost to start. And I just decided my dream was worth it. That I would say no to some movies for a little while. I would say no to eating out for a little while, and I'd bag some lunches for a little while, and I'd just make a few different choices. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made, because I'm excited now. I'm excited about my future. I'm excited about taking charge of my life. I'm proud of me for rearranging those priorities and not just living like average people, but doing something extraordinary. So let me ask you a question. If I could show you how to do the same thing that I was able to figure out, would you be prepared to take the next step with me? The answer is, if we're going to be almost all the time, sure. If it's a network marketing, limiting belief about that, listen, relate, tell your story, ask a question. Listen, relate, tell your story, ask a question. It's a very simple formula. It's going to take a little bit of practice. And understand this, you're going to be doing this with 100 different people in a month. So you're going to get really good at this. And the first 10 times it's going to be, not great. And that's okay. Maybe you can practice with some friends. Practice with some family. Because you're going to use that. Remember, respect, practice, and support. Those 3 words we talked about with Hot Market. Maybe practice with those people. And tell them, listen, here's what I'm supposed to do when you have a question. And you can literally say it word for word. I'm supposed to listen to you. I'm supposed to relate to you. I'm supposed to tell you my story. I'm supposed to ask you a question. Walk through and practice with them. Do some practice. Follow through on this, and you're going to get great results. Now, here's what's going to happen at the end of this. You're going to end up with, in my opinion, a very good percentage of people becoming a distributor and another very good percentage of people becoming a customer. You're going to end up feeling amazing because after doing this 100 times, you filled up your calendar. Where's the calendar? Hold on. You've sent out 200 text messages now, right? You did this in the end of whatever month before the 30 days that you're going to do this. You filled that entire calendar, packed it. You didn't know what to say, and I gave you some structure to be able to do that. In your presentation, you're going to tell the story and you're going to do the thing. Tell the story and do the thing. Every one of you can do that, and so long as you focus on the story and you make sure you cover all 4 points, you're going to have very good reception to what it is that you're there to do. And our goal, again, education and understanding. That's our goal. And at the end of every presentation, you're going to just go ask them some questions. What'd you like best? Scale of 1 to 10. Hypothetical, part-time, how many hours, how many months, if I would you. And then if you get questions or objections, and if you do the other parts right, the more kind of unskilled you are, the more questions and objections you're going to get, the more lack of confidence you show. If you show you're timid, weak, or meek, or apologizing all the time, you're going to find you're going to get much more questions and objections because you're planting seeds of doubt in people's minds by your posture, right? But remember I told you my friend Terry did 140 presentations over the course of the first that 10-day blast? Well, when he first started, the presentations were like 30 and 40 minutes long, and he was a little bit timid with them. But after about 10 or 15, he was just bang, bang, bang. Here's my story. Here's my, he told the story. He did the thing. He said, are you in or are you out? He was just super bold because he was doing it so much. He got in a groove. He got in a rhythm with it. He was doing it so much, and he got so much posture with it that his results went up and up and up because he was more and more confident. The fact that you're going to be doing this over a month, you're going to get really good, really fast. Okay? So you can just make, hey, here's this. Are you in or you out? I'm bringing in 20 over the course of this month. I'm putting together the dream team. You either want to be part of it or you don't. You either want to be part of something incredible over the next 12 months and the rest of our lives or not. The people who decide to get in are going to make a good decision. The people decide that now's not the time. It's going to be a bad decision, in my opinion. I love you anyway. But, hey, the train's leaving. I'm going to go. You got some energy now, right? You got some momentum. You got some enthusiasm. You got some excitement. And people are attracted to something that is in motion. Attracted to something that is not just so needy. Because when you do this once a month or once every 2 months, you're so needy. Your posture is so, thank you so much for meeting with me. Thank you so much for listening to my story. Thank you. You're just so many times so pitiful, so filled with a lack of confidence that people are like, I don't want to do what you're doing with people that I know. Be bold, but boldness comes from repetition. And that's what this is going to force you to do. It's going to put you in the deep end of the pool, and you're going to learn how to swim. Over the course of that month, you're going to get good at this. All right? Getting good. So this process will help you get those people to a positive decision. And understand it might take 3, 4, 5, 6 exposures. Answer an objection. Maybe they try the product. Because again, the first 10 days, we're going to be heavily loaded on presentations. Second 10 days, lots of follow-up, getting questions answered. They're trying the product. They're sampling this. They're talking to their spouse. All that other kind of stuff. The last 10 days, a lot of emphasis on helping those people get over the fence and make a decision. Okay? Some are going to join in all 3 sections of the 30-day cycle. But just understand the primary focus of each is going to be slightly different. Got it? All right. Now, in the last module, Module 5, I'm going to talk to you about one bonus structure or one bonus concept to force you to get your 20 and 30. One idea that I will give you that will provide fuel and momentum and certainty to getting the 20 and 30 done. And then we're going to talk about how to get your brand new people started effectively. Okay? So I hope you've enjoyed the journey up until now. I hope you've gotten value. That's my goal, is to over-deliver on value. I want more people to get 20 and 30 than has ever happened in network marketing out of a group of students here engaged in growing their business and growing their lives and helping other people do the same thing. So I hope you enjoyed this module. See you on part 5 on the other side. Welcome back. Module 5. If you've gone to this point, most people don't get to all the way through a home study course. Do you know that most people that buy a book never read past the first chapter? Isn't that something? Something like 70% of books that are purchased are never read. 98% of people who sign up for an online course for a university drop out. 98%. As soon as it gets hard, they're gone. As soon as it gets tough, they're gone. So here's my hope for you. My hope is that, since you're here and you're engaged in this, that you've been working through the study guide, you have the different workbooks, the calendar and the contact workbook as far as building your contact list. You've got that, you're serious about this. And by now, you're starting to put together what is the time you want to do this launch, how are you going to do it. Maybe you've been practicing, you've been working on your list, you've been figuring all these different things out, and you're putting a time in space, a moment in time out into the future that you're going to do this, that you're going to make it happen. Okay? You're going to be extraordinary. When other people are ordinary, you're going to be extraordinary. You're going to be something special. You're not going to be the people who crawl through network marketing people. You're going to be the people who run to the top of the mountain and show other people how to do the same thing. Now, some people wonder about motivation. How do you motivate yourself to do this thing when you're out there doing it by yourself? There's a concept that I love called accountability. Creating systems that will force you to do the thing that's in your best interest to do. Now, if you think about it, what was a teacher for you? Because you could go to the library and get the books and learn everything that was taught in high school, couldn't you? What was a teacher? A teacher was an accountability system. What was your school? It was an accountability system. It created some accountability for you. What was that coach for that team that said, okay, one more lap, one more push-up, one more whatever? They're an accountability system. Now, inside of accountability, I gave you all the bonuses of the benefits of doing the 20 and 30. I told you, hey, look, here's how great your life is going to be. But here's something that I know about human nature. Do you think people are driven more to gain pleasure or to avoid pain? What do you think? It's not to gain pleasure. It's to avoid pain. And if you think about it, our whole life has been about avoiding pain. When we're growing up, we're 2 years old, brush your teeth or else. Stop hitting your sister or else. Don't talk back to your mother like that or else. Consequences were built in. So we would do the right thing to avoid pain. And then we go into the educational system. If we don't do our homework, then there's consequences. There's pain. So we learn to do our homework. Then we go into our religious organizations. And if we don't follow the teachings of the church, then there's consequences built in. Whether immediate right now or after death. Consequences built in. You go into the military, there's consequences built in for even questioning authority. So the people have learned to avoid that pain, they will do what's necessary. Then you go into your job. If you've been an employee for a while, you've been ingrained to only do what you're asked to do and nothing more. You've been taught to do what you're asked and nothing more. What is the minimum you can do to avoid pain in your workplace? That's what most people do. They hide in the workplace and they do everything possible to avoid pain in the workplace. So they'll show up on time so they won't get reprimanded or written up. They won't take too many sick days because they don't want that black mark on their record. You see what I mean? They won't take long lunches because they don't want to be, a target when layoffs come to the company. Whatever it happens to be. So there's the few that strive to gain pleasure, but most of us are built to avoid pain. So can we create some consequences? Can we create some systems that will help you do your 20 and 30? I can guarantee every single one of you will do 20 and 30. Guarantee it. You want to know how I can guarantee it? It's real simple. If I can create consequences, accountability, that are strong enough and personal enough for you, you'll do the 20 and 30. There's a website out there that I love called Stick, Stickk.com. Stick.com is an accountability website. And you could put your goal in there. You could go there today, if you're serious about doing your 20 and 30, and you could put your 20 and 30 goal in there. Here's the dates I'm going to do it. I'm going to do 20 and 30. Hold me accountable. And here's how Stick works. You could put your credit card in there. And if you don't hit your goal, then the money goes to whatever you designate. But here's the trick. You got to make it to a place that you cannot imagine it going to. I had an African American gentleman at one of my events. He said, KKK is an organization he hates. Right? It's a good organization to hate. But I had him put $5,000 into Stick.com on his credit card that if he didn't hit a particular goal that it was very easy for him to hit, if he didn't do it, the money would go to the KKK in his name. Unthinkable. And guess what? He achieved his goal. You could put your ex. You have an ex that you're not particularly fond of? You could put your credit card into Stick.com, and if you don't get your 20 and 30, the money goes to your ex. Some of you are not big fans of companies like Monsanto with all their genetically modified foods. If you hate Monsanto, you can't stand it, put Monsanto into Stick.com. And if you don't hit your 20 and 30, money goes to Monsanto. I don't know what it is for you. It could be the Republicans. It could be the Democrats. It could be the NRA. It could be Planned Parenthood. Whatever is your hot button, I don't care. Whatever it happens to be. If you don't hit your 20 and 30, that money goes to one of these organizations. It needs to be unthinkable. Think about the person you dislike the most in life, the person that's been the meanest to you. And put your goal into Stick.com, put a credit card in there, and if you don't hit the goal, it goes to that person. See, you can't just give it to charity because that's too easy. Say, well, at least I gave some to charity. Nah,